Capricorn, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. My name is Jenna. Today I'm here to do your reading for the rest of May. Mid-May, really, to be precise, but I'm running a little bit behind. Thank you for your patience. It's taken me a bit to get these out. I've been inundated with readings, personal readings, and if you've signed up for a personal reading, I am doing my best to get them all done. So my public posts have suffered a bit as a result. But it's all for good, all for the greater good, right? Thank you for tuning in, for sharing this space with me today. I'm excited to see what's coming up for you, Capricorn. We're going to take a look at your overall general energy, what you may not see coming, and get some important advice for you today from Spirit. All right. Thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for Capricorns. Thank you for your guidance. All right. What does Spirit want you to know for the rest of the month? What are their frequencies? Dream. I am ready to receive my dreams. Virgo just had that, so you may be close to Virgo in some of your placements that are being activated at this time and need to make a plan, perhaps. Get things in order, Capricorn. You might be really having a new level of fulfillment around your dreams. I am higher wisdom. Learning a lot about yourself. They told me to look at the bottom of the deck. Expand consciousness. You are in a really big upswing of personal development, growth, transformation for the rest of the month. Wow. I welcome expansion and connect in all forms. It seems like you might be exchanging energy with a group of people or another individual, and it's expanding you in your own wisdom. Maybe even a new spiritual teacher. You might be taking a deep dive in new spiritual endeavors. I like it. I like it. Higher wisdom, expanding consciousness, and dream. Ready to receive those dreams. What have you been dreaming about? Especially around your own spiritual development. If that's been a great passion of yours, keep going. All right. Let's now get into your tarot spread. We'll be pulling more oracle messages too towards the end. Current energies, yes, you are. You're doing what you love. A lot of you are really realizing how much you love being a leader. For those of you who are in positions of power, you're trying to... I'm getting this humbleness. Something has humbled you recently around how you use your power out in the world externally. And sometimes when we reach levels of fulfillment, we'll say recognition on our path, in our purpose. You feel a new level of nurturing from the world. You're definitely being seen as a leader. And I think it's activating a very tender part of you. Something softening you, Capricorn. Empress energy with the King of Wands. All right. Ooh-wee. Hierophant. Talk about spiritual energy, frequencies, crossed by the Four of Cups. Ooh. You may be shifting your belief system because of a disappointment in the past, perhaps around something you were deeply committed to, but you suffered a tower. Great change has been upon you on your path. I think you've been going through a period of grief and you're ending a cycle where maybe what you invested in wasn't as stable as you thought it would be. And now there's a lot of unknowns. I think you're trying to access your higher wisdom right now to change directions. It feels like the universe has brought you've been plotting a new course. It's almost like the wind shifted. You're sailing along and like, I'm going down this trajectory. I don't know nautical terms, but you had a destination and you thought you were going there. And then the wind shifted and it took you to a different place. Now, this isn't a sidetrack. This is, I think, the universe steering you away from something, especially with that tower. You could be disappointed that whatever, I'm telling you, the central core of what I'm getting right now for the rest of the month is you're still grappling with some sort of disappointment around what you were committed to. And it might have to do with a belief about a person or a thing or a situation or a very commitment in and of itself. if you were in one or are currently still in one. It's weathering a lot. All right, let's get another shuffle. Do I? No, they said don't. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah. So your challenge is you're being challenged by, you might be feeling pressure. I don't know if it's coming from within you or outside of you. Typically with the Seven of Wands, you're standing in your power and you're defending your position. But I'm not really getting that. I'm getting this more as in something has left you a bit cornered, Capricorn, and you're trying to find a way out. It feels like something that's gotten you a bit twisted and turned up into knots inside. That's what it's feeling like, because I just got a picture of a knotted ball inside, internally. And don't ask me how I get this stuff. I'm a very visual person. I have a very strong imagination. And spirit connects with me in various ways. But when I'm channeling and I come and do this, whatever comes out, I just spew it out. So bear with me here. Queen of Cups. Something that you really love. Your heart was really in something in the past. I can't wait to see what that says. Interesting. Okay. Oh, yeah. I feel like you've got someone on your mind that you're still thinking about. And you're even wondering why you or them got so defensive. Why things happened the way they did. When you love something so much, you're going inward to understand what you dream of now. Some sort of dream that you had didn't go according to plan. You're reevaluating, reassessing things, trying to decide what you want to harvest out of the situation in your learning, in the lesson. I feel like there's something that you're being taught about something that happened to you. Near future, Five of Wands. Just feels like an inner conflict. And it may be playing outside of you if you're going through some sort of external conflict, but I also feel like it's being driven by an internal conflict. Overall general energy, Page of Cups. You could be opening up to new opportunities. Or you've turned your heart space down. And now you're getting frustrated because you're like, why did I do that? What happened? I don't want to just feel a little. I want to feel it all. Interesting. What you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck? That tower. That's right. I didn't shuffle. I think I wanted to. Let's get out of this tower energy. Some of you you're going to go through this tower and this awakening. Spirit is trying to tell you something here about loss and about coming to terms with the things that we have to release and the instability of the unknown. All right. Leave it there, they said. Okay. And then the hidden truth we're going to pull from the middle. We're going to get to that later. Interesting. Gosh, I feel like you're trying to... Yeah, whenever we reach the end of the cycle, I feel like you're looking back and reviewing everything that happened. I feel like it's been especially in the last 6 to 9 months. You were juggling 2 different directions. And one path led to loss. And one path led to holding on to whatever it is you were holding on to. I think you're disappointed in something that you have lost. All right, it's just making me, I'm feeling a lot of emotion right now, Capricorn. It's almost like you have a lot of emotions going on underneath the surface that only when you're really quiet and alone do you actually tap into that. It does come bubbling up though, but you just, not today. This feels like an external energy. That there's distance between you and them now. The Emperor and the Two of Wands. You're in a transition. Reconsidering how you responded to something in the past. This is going to be an interesting one. Something's been burdening you. It's something around control. The Emperor and the Ten of Wands. I'm sorry, I don't always name out the cards. I know you can't see them. Let's clarify the Page of Cups. Queen of Cups. You want to invest more deeply in your heart space. I think you might have an opportunity to do that. Yeah. I feel like you have a new opportunity, but you're coming from a previous chapter or in this cycle where you couldn't trust love. You couldn't trust fully. Ooh, you're doing some deep, deep internal work around your heart space and around commitment. It's like, I feel like you want commitment, but then you're also like, it disappoints you what you get. Page of Pentacles. Like you're trying to invest the fullness of yourself when it comes to the things too that you believe. You might be really shifting your belief system here based on a loss. Queen of Cups, or the potential of a loss if you haven't had a recent loss. Let's clarify the Queen of Cups. What is your heart telling you in the past? Because it's talking loudly now. It doesn't want to, though. It's like you're showing up in a very small expression of your heart. But Spirit's saying, why aren't you committing to the full expression of your heart? Yeah, Four of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Strength. Wow. This is definitely about another person that you actually really, really, really love, that brought out. You had a lot of courage to open your heart in the past to someone, but then you pull back. I think it was almost as though you're like, this is going to disappoint me. I just need to exit now. But now you're like, did I do the right thing? Or you're still with them and you're considering that, like, well, if I pull away, is it the wrong thing? But you're pulling away anyway. It looks like you're pulling away from something. You're either pulling away or clinging to, but it doesn't feel like a clinging. It feels like a withdrawal. And you're reevaluating and reassessing the stable structures in your life. Something's coming to a close, Capricorn, and it's compelling you to really go through a significant change and transformation as a result. You've gone through a significant transformation recently. This might just be a continuation of that, but you might not see that there are still some things that you've got to release, that you've kind of, if this was you going through some sort of ending and then just keep on keeping on, you know what I mean? Smile big and carry on. You went about life, right? And maybe you just said, I'm not going to deal with this grief. I'm not going to deal with this right now. It's like delaying grief, and then the grief catching up with you when you open up to something new. And sometimes when you jump into something new and you didn't bring your heart with you because it got hurt, or you just couldn't show up fully in the expression of love, I feel like you're getting a little frustrated with yourself in the ways that you bury your feelings. What's the Seven of Pentacles? Which is, I feel like that's you wanting to really release release the feelings. But it's like you're guarding yourself. It's almost as though when you let it out, it's going to create significant change and you're afraid to let it out. But you're getting to that point where you have no other choice but to let it out. It's like sometimes when you know something is true and you don't want to speak of it, and then the minute you speak of it to a friend, then it makes it real. There's something that you're trying to disconnect from right now. And it feels like that kind of energy where you're like, I can't speak of it. It'll make it more real. Yeah, you're going through a significant transformation around an ending, honey. The opportunity is to let what needs to fall away, fall away. You're coming out of a period of illusion of maybe even wanting to go back to something or resurrecting something. Like you're like, It's almost as though you wish you could. It's weird. You're holding back from someone that you love intentionally. Interesting. You know, when I see this grouping, this is truly an end, you know, but you're still looking at it ending. It's still affecting you deeply. Or either that, you're really, really holding off from an ending, and it's making the disappointment linger way too long. And you're just, it's like that, I'm going to tiptoe slowly out of this and maybe no one will notice. Well, I'm sorry, but whoever it is you're dealing with is really noticing. You may be coming out of some sort of illusion around the ways you need to transform and invest in yourself now. I just feel like you've been lingering in a sad state, not even realizing how sad you really are out of something that ended that you wish you could have back, or if you're still with this person, you wish you could get back to a better place, to when things were less tainted. Yeah, I feel like something got tainted here. All right, let's see the Seven of Wands. Yeah, you're casting judgment about whether you should give and receive, if this would even be shared, but you can't trust it. All right, let's see, though. Seven of Wands. We have a lot of sevens. There's a lot of spiritual awareness going on here. The higher truth of this. The higher lesson. Oh, you don't trust something's going to succeed. If you're still in something, you're on the brink of an ending here. Some of you, it could be around what you've invested in your heart, around your career, because I am seeing a thread of pentacle energy going through this, around making a plan, holding back, being married to something in your career that is eroding at your well-being, and having to look back and going, is it worth the toll it's taking? I'm disappointed in what I'm committed to, Jenna. I don't know if it's worth the sacrifice. And you're like, I don't know if I can trust that I'm going to get what I need here. I'm always like being defensive. I'm always on guard. I don't feel safe. Or I don't feel like this is going to yield what I want. It's perpetually imbalanced. So you see that whole dialogue I'm having, like it's going on internally. I don't even know if you're conscious of it. You might be. Some of you might very well be. And it's been a dialogue you've been having for months. You want so much to succeed in the when it comes to shared love. You do. I know you do, Capricorn. This is what you deeply desire. But you're looking at whatever this is and you're like, that doesn't feel so good. That's like, this is the end. It was an illusion. No matter which way I look at it, this is what I'm going to get. Death, an ending, an illusion. It's almost like if you don't trust that you're going to be able to bring your whole heart and have the right plan moving forward in what you're committed to, then you're going to not feel successful in it. But here's the thing. It's how two energies intertwine. And I'm sorry about a dog barking, if you hear that dog. It's almost as though there were so many things that you didn't want to see in this, that now you're in this position of like, I feel like you're trying to force staying somewhere where you don't even trust in its ability to nurture you or be what you want. Some of you, it's like your career isn't sustainable for your health. It's not sustainable for you, but you're attached to the money. Others of you, you're attached to a person, and it's not sustainable for you to continue in this involvement, and it needs to end because it's eroding at your well-being. It's almost like, I don't know if it really can't work or you know that it won't work, because it's the same thing. Because our beliefs inform everything. You're disappointed in what you're committed to. And you've been pulling your energy back for some time now, having enough courage And you're going through in the near future a challenge here in whatever you're committed to. Wow. Huh. You're being challenged. Some of you are actually thinking or teetering with the notion of leaving a long-term commitment or a long-term career to lighten your energy and end a cycle and nurture yourself and stand in your power. And you got a ton of choices to make in order to come back into balance. And that's why it gets complicated, because if you're really intertwined with your identity in a person or a career, it is very hard to extract yourself from that. It's almost like you've convinced yourself this is not going to work for me anymore. And that may be true. Maybe you fell out of love with somebody. Maybe you've fallen out of love with your career. Maybe it just doesn't do it for you anymore. And that's okay. Can you accept that? It's almost as though your inner knowing is trying to speak to you here. I think for a while you just wanted to no, I don't want to. No, Jenna, just let me do my thing over here. I don't really want to know the truth. Nope. Yeah, this Temperance with the 5 of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the 7 of Wands. No, this is about you nurturing you. A lot of you, if you've been preoccupied with a situation, there's some sort of avoidance of going inward that I'm seeing here all across the board, where it's like Spirit is saying it's time for you to really listen to you and what you want. Not what you think you want, not what other people want. You. This internal battle is between you coming back into balance in a new frequency of self-love and self-care. In what ways are you denying? It's almost like if I love myself, I wouldn't stay. If I love myself, I wouldn't choose to stay in this career, stay in this relationship, stay in this family dynamic, keep feeding whatever is making me feel like my heart has to just be. It's almost like something is draining out of your heart right now. And it's like this will to continue in whatever endeavor you've committed to here. And the disappointments have been mounting. And Spirit's trying to lend you a helping hand right now. You can triumph over this, but it's going to come down to you really listening to your own inner voice. And being honest with oneself is one of the hardest things that we will ever do in our lifetimes. And knowing what is serving you and what isn't, what is shrinking you and what is expanding you. And if you are shrinking and draining and you are not happy, it's only a matter of time before you say, I've had enough. And I think that that's where you're at. I've had enough. I'm in transition. I'm going to take a leap of faith, and I'm going to need a lot of support around me, and I'm going to come back to life again. It's almost like you're at this point in your life, Capricorn, and I see this so clearly, that you want to make yourself happy. Whatever you're putting a lot of your time, energy, resources into, it's not making you happy anymore. And now you're like, wait a minute, there's a deeper lesson here. There always is, right? I go deeper. Spirit's like, go deeper, Capricorn, go deeper. What is this telling you? What is the lesson here? And you're like, I am my own source of happiness. Why am I standing in the way of that? Why am I pouring into all of these other things thinking that that's the answer? The answer is you. You. All along, it was you. I think you're grieving the parts of yourself that you keep sacrificing, knowing that it's unsustainable. What's the hidden truth here? The 8 of Cups. It's a card of really walking away from all the emotions that you're feeling and letting go and letting God, Goddess. Sometimes when it's too hard to deal with what we're facing, you have to surrender it. Let's clarify this 8 of Cups. What are you surrendering to here? What are you releasing? Oh, I see. You're dreaming a new dream, Capricorn. And while another dream is slowly dying or has already died or is about to die. And I'm sorry to tell you that, but I do see you going through a significant shift and a loss and the ending of a cycle because it's been too unstable. There's been a lot of hidden elements here, not really being true to yourself. I feel like you long for so much. And you know what that longing is really you. You long to be you again. You long to feel normal. You long to feel alive. You long to come out of this feeling of aloneness. It's like your soul is crying out for you. I'm getting that out off of this. What is standing in the way of you reuniting with your inner being? That's the question. What is standing in the way, Capricorn? Let's get some advice from Spirit. And then we're going to get some oracle messages. Yeah, a lot of you, you're dreaming new dreams around your work and your productivity and what you ultimately desire. Because you went from the 7 to the 8 here. You're disappointed in something not working for you. Maybe you've spent years and years studying a certain profession, being in something, but your heart's not in it anymore. And you don't want to keep doing it. And I get it. Doesn't mean you never loved it or you never loved them. It's just not working for you anymore. It's time for a new dream, Capricorn. And it's time for you to work on that new dream. Keep that starlight of hope alive, right? That you will have, your cup will runneth over yet again. While it may feel like it's dry and there's nothing in it, it's time for you to fill your own cup with all the things that you love, that excites you. Everything, it's like something has just drained the life out of you. And I don't know what it was. It's different for all of you, but you have an opportunity to release the burden of staying in something that's past its expiration date and knowing that it's stagnating you and you want to come back alive again and feel hopeful. There's something that you lost faith in. You may have lost faith in the idea of commitment, long-term commitment, faith in love, lasting love. Something has knocked, the wind out of you here. Yeah, and it's wounded you. It's wounded you. 9 of Wands. Yeah. Spirit's saying you got to go within, sweetheart. You got to go within and clean it all up. You feel wounded right now. I do see that, but you've got a new opportunity for, this is about your own growth. I think that Spirit's handing you an opportunity to do some deep inner wound healing and to go deep within to find your own source of that wellspring of happiness again, that fountain of love that resides within all of us. You're clearing the things out of the way that prevent you from allowing love to flow through you completely. It's like the difference between a trickle and a waterfall. You don't want to be the trickle. You want the waterfall. And you're like, what do I got to do? And I think that your advice here is to just keep going within. Keep going within, keep going within, and keep looking at the ways that you show up in your wounded self and you actually allow for that and you perpetuate it. And you can get out of it at any time, honey. You can. Let's get some key oracle messages here. The dog is barking because there's a lot of people painting in different places around my street. And he's just a very protective dog. So I'm sorry. New beginning and family dynamics, reconciliation on the love redefined. You are redefining love. I can tell you that. New beginnings, new doors are opening, and new opportunities are here. You are shifting into a higher frequency by honoring yourself and your accomplishments. It's time for a fresh start and a clean slate. You're being asked to only bring your new self into this next chapter. Your family is requiring a time to heal issues that have created a wedge or unrest. We all need support as we move forward, and having an open, loving family unit is essential. Cupid has entered your heart and has awakened you to love and romance, but this time on a different vibration. Having a newfound love for yourself has created an opportunity for a new chapter with possibilities to cultivate healthy relationships. Yeah, this is about self-love. And when you do that, I think it's going to open up new doors of healing and in new connections if you're looking for one. Okay, you're in a brand new beginning here. As the plane touches down. I don't know if you can hear that either. There's a lot of noise going on. So I feel like you've had a lot going on inside. And I think you're going to be pushing through and going through a breakthrough in all of this. All right, let's get your Starseed Oracle messages. If anyone is interested in a private reading, go to my website, jennafontaine.com. I'm also doing compatibility reports around you and any loved one in your life or a business partnership. It's fascinating. It's actually based on an ancient divination system. I'm not writing them. I'm plugging in numbers and I'm evaluating and doing different number systems around compatibility. So, but it's different. I'm finding is because people who come to me for a reading, it's very much like these readings where it's soft, very loving, and this because of the system, it was written by a masculine energy. And it's a very matter-of-fact, more cut and dry kind of languaging. So I think a lot of people are like, wow, this doesn't sound like Jenna. Well, it's a culmination of many different systems of thought. So it's more of the science behind spirituality. So it has more of an edge. So just so you know, they're both very different frequencies when you come for those different kinds of readings. The compatibility readings versus the tarot readings are very different. I just want that to be known. I need to probably write that so people understand what they're signing up for. Inner alchemy. That's what it's about. I knew it. Inner alchemy. Inner alchemy is achieved when you react to fear with love. Wisdom. See your adversaries as opportunities to expand your spiritual light and love. Live your truth and share the love that is in your soul. Capricorn. All right. Take care.